Welcome into the Browns Report, everybody. I'm your host, Joey O'Donohue, and I'm hyped up. We hit 50,000 subs, baby. Thank you all. Y'all are the best. Go ahead, join the party. It's a 50,000 person party right now, and it's still open invite. But seriously, thank you all so much. That's why I'm here celebrating today. You guys are the best for that. But we've got a lot of news to get into. Shedeur Sanders in the headlines once again, and this time it's good for Cleveland, y'all. He's likely going to play this Saturday. We got the update from Mary Kay earlier today. Kevin Stefanski said Joe Flacco will start versus the Rams. The starters will get about 25 to 30 plays. Dillon Gabriel will play second, and Shedeur Sanders third. So we're likely going to see all three of them, and the starters include Myles Garrett potentially being available. A lot of Cleveland's first strings may get out there, but Joe's going to start, then Dillon, then Shedeur. Folks, this is going to be one of the most intriguing preseason games in a long time. I mean, think about it. Shedeur will probably get in. You know that's box office for everybody. Flacco will start to warm up, someone who has been named Cleveland's number one. We got to see what we have in him. We haven't really got to see any action from him in Cleveland in 2 years. And then Kenny Pickett has been ruled out. He will not play. So it is going to be old veteran and then the two rookies getting some time to shine. We saw Gabriel a bit last week, Shedeur the week before. This has been the story of preseason. So I personally am super excited to see Shedeur get back out there. We'll be live for it. Make sure you tune in. It's going to be exciting. Shedeur also spoke to the media today, and he was asked about Dillon Gabriel's comments. If you'll remember, we talked about it on the show. Gabriel said, quote, "There's entertainers, and then there's competitors." And Gabriel tried to say that he wasn't talking about Shedeur. Well, they asked Sanders about it today. And Sanders said, "Did I believe him? I mean, I feel like you're trying to start stuff now." And he laughed. Do I feel like he did? I don't know. And that's not on me to sit here and be like, oh, he did, he didn't. Okay, wow, so this changes things a little bit. Because if y'all remember, we came on the show, we talked about it, and I said, it's a little far-fetched. There's no way Gabriel came out there after throwing a pick six and fumbling the ball, and then went and did a halftime interview and said, oh, yeah, I'm a competitor and Shedeur's an entertainer. Right? There's no way. Well, now Sanders kind of refused to comment on if he believes him or not. And he said, genuinely, he doesn't know what Gabriel meant, despite Gabriel going up to him and saying that he wasn't talking to Shedeur. I would be really upset if this is true, that Gabriel was taking a slight shot at Sanders. Like, that's not the kind of attitude we need in the quarterback room right now. I like a little healthy competition. I like that they're battling each other. But there was no room for Gabriel to take a shot like that. I still find it hard to believe. I don't even want to get out here and say and get mad at him for it, because I feel like that's a far-fetched idea. But Sanders is saying, look, I don't know. Words don't affect me. I'm not going to get into this too much right now. So hopefully nothing was meant by it. But Sanders gave his take, and he didn't seem confident in Gabriel's apology. And Shedeur, to me, has showed great character since the NFL draft. I think sliding to the 5th round really was a humbling experience, right? I mean, the reason people said Shedeur slid in the first place was they thought he was a little arrogant in pre-draft interviews and things like that. You know, he was out there saying, if you don't want to change the franchise, don't come get me. But to me, that's confidence. That's moxie. That's swagger. We want that. We had that in Baker Mayfield. We will have that in Shedeur Sanders now, a confident quarterback who knows what he can do, who knows what he can bring to the table. And ever since the draft, he's been very great in his press conferences. He's been grateful. He's been thanking the Lord. He's been blessed to be in Cleveland. A lot of good answers. I like what I've seen from Shedeur and what I saw from him speaking today. Another report, Kevin Stefanski himself says that Isaiah Bond will likely play this Saturday. Okay, it's another reason to tune in, ladies and gentlemen, to see the blazing speed that we have out of Isaiah Bond here in Cleveland, one of their newest additions in the rookie room. So super exciting, y'all. A lot to tune into for this preseason game. The essentially dress rehearsal, as they like to call it, and getting a taste of Bond's speed, his route running, will be absolutely exciting for the Browns, along with the rookie quarterback battle. Both Gabriel and Shedeur likely going to be out there, and Old Joe, our first look at his action. But speaking of Browns rookie deals, you're probably wondering, why has Cleveland not signed Quinshon Judkins yet? What's the holdup? The charges were dropped. Why is there no deal for Quinshon Judkins, I'll tell you everything you need to know about it. First, there was a report earlier today that teams making calls in search of running back additions include the Saints, Browns, and Chiefs. So Cleveland's picking up the phones right now to try and get a running back. Well, that's bad news for Quinshon Judkins, is it not? As I said, no contract has been signed yet, and even though prosecutors dropped charges against Judkins, the NFL is still conducting their own investigation. The NFL is trying to speak with the alleged victim, and if she's willing to cooperate, the NFL will interview her and conduct their own investigation, and it will have a lower standard of proof than the criminal charges Judkins was being prosecuted for. So, in a criminal case, you have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt as a standard of proof. And because of a lot of factors, they found that if there was at least some doubts in the case, right? If you're going to get convicted of criminal charges, there has to be no doubt at all. Well, if you remember, the state attorney's office on the case had said the incident was not captured on any video surveillance. There are no independent witnesses to the incident. Although the victim had photos showing injuries sustained, there were also videos in that same time frame where no injuries were observed to the victim. Finally, there was a delayed report of the incident. The delay is problematic as the victim was alone on numerous occasions without the defendant, had the ability and resources to make the report without his knowledge, but chose not to do so. So because of a lot of factors, those criminal charges were dropped, and it seemed like we were in the clear to sign Judkins to a contract, but that hasn't happened. Cleveland must be waiting until the NFL's investigation is over because it's still possible that Judkins gets suspended, y'all. This is why Cleveland felt comfortable signing Bond, but not Judkins yet. It seems like the NFL will have to do their own research and make a verdict that could be different than the criminal case. And it's kind of a shame because Judkins, in my opinion, is poised to have a breakout season. I mean, I've been drafting him in all my fantasy football drafts, right? It's the recipe for a running back that's going to break out. You saw it last year with Chase Brown, backing up Zach Moss. He eventually took over. I think that was going to be the same case with Quinshon Judkins is what I'm calling him now because he's an absolute beast. He's powerful. He's hard to tackle. I mean, he's got a big frame. He's 6 foot, and he's strong. But not only that, he's got great burst, acceleration, and balance. So he's powerful, but he's also fast and quick and can get to the outside. He can catch passes too. Adding his third down value, Cleveland could use him as a third down back and first and second. And he's a touchdown machine. At Ohio State in 2024, had 14 touchdowns. A lot of analysts were saying that he had some shades of Kareem Hunt, another running back that did pretty well for himself in Cleveland. So I was hyped to see Quinshon Judkins go out there and play for Cleveland. And as I said, I was drafting him in all my drafts. But now, he might miss the first part of the season. We'll keep you updated with that here on the Browns Report. But it seems like the verdict is Cleveland is waiting until the NFL is done with their investigation. Now, if Cleveland does go ahead and trade for a running back, here are some of the RBs that are in trade talks. These are ones that are not necessarily going to be traded, but a lot of analysts have speculated are on the way out. Brian Robinson Jr. seems like the most likely running back to be traded this offseason out of Washington. Travis Etienne has been losing work to Tank Bigsby in Jacksonville's backfield, another notable name that could be traded. Kenneth Walker as well, splitting time with Zach Charbonnet. Cleveland might reach out. And then you've got the two running backs with the last name White, Rashad White and Zamir White. I think it's Bucky Irving's season in Tampa, so White's on the block. And same thing, Ashton Genty's going to take over for Las Vegas. So I want to know from y'all, do you want the Browns to trade for a running back? Type Y for yes, type N for no. And if you do think they should, let me know what running back you'd want to see Cleveland go out and get right now. Again, I really hope that we can get Judkins' deal done, and he could be the guy for Cleveland eventually. But it's definitely safest to wait and see what the NFL finds out. So speaking of Cleveland situation as well, Deshaun Watson is getting back on social media, and he posted some videos of him warming up. He's running around. He's throwing. It seems like he's progressing well. Folks, I'm never a fan of injuries, but we don't need this. We don't need this right now. We don't need more drama. We don't need Watson getting into this quarterback competition. If you forget, I mean, Watson was really poor towards the end of his quote-unquote tenure in Cleveland. We don't need him added into this mess of a quarterback room with 4 guys fighting for one spot. Oh, please. I don't think this is something that Cleveland needs on their plate right now. But it's possible that Watson tries to return later this season. He's still working. He's still fighting. And he wants to get back out there. But, folks, he wasn't good. He wasn't good towards the end. It's a big swing and a miss. The owner, Haslam, even said that. How about a little trivia related to Cleveland quarterbacks, though? All right, y'all. If you were here yesterday, we did one since 2001. That's my lifetime. How many starting quarterbacks have actually started for Cleveland since 2001? Comment your guess. We'll reveal the answer at the start of next show. But go ahead, give it your best guess in the comments. How many different quarterbacks have actually started games for Cleveland since 2001? It's a lot. That's your small hint. If you made it to this point in the show, we really appreciate you tuning in. Go ahead, drop me a follow on X at Joey070. And as always, thank you so much for tuning in. We're grateful for 50K subs. Let's keep it pushing, and we'll see you next time.